What's up, my family? Listen, first-time listener, or you've been here the whole damn time. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, giddy up, let's go, no notes.
That's my baby. That's my baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored! They did it!
Slap.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah!
What the f*** are you talking about?
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new edition of the Hockey Happy Hour. Once again, coming to you live from A2DRadio.com. And tonight, we have a special game that we are doing our live reactions to for the third period, at least. That is Vancouver and the Flyers in the home opener for the 2023-24 regular season. I am Matt Tsutsuti, along with the broken one, Rob Povia.
Glad to be here with you, Maddie, and it's a great night for Philadelphia sports now.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Between these guys having their home opener, as well as the Phillies getting ready to battle it out with the Arizona Diamondbacks in Game 2 of the NLCS, things are going pretty well in Philadelphia right now. So, with that, we are brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy, the doc, Dr. Paul Vidal. If you got any aches and pains that are bugging you, go to the doc. He'll take care of you. Make sure everything is all right. See him at SpecializedPhysicalTherapy.com. Go visit Cherry Hill or Burlington, New Jersey, so his team of highly trained professionals can take care of all those aches and pains, and you won't have them anymore. And the poll question brought to you by Baggio's Bread. Say you want to celebrate the opening festivities for the Flyers, or you want to celebrate the NLCS for the Phillies, why don't you go hit up Baggio's Bread? It's got some of the best stuffed pies, tomato pies as well, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs. Mention A2D, and you get 10% off of your in-store purchase. And then you have good food, good company, and a great time watching your favorite Philadelphia team whip some ass and take some names. All right. And the poll question are, the Flyers will split the homestand against the Canucks and the Oilers. Agree or disagree? Right now, they're doing a real good job of making sure that the Vancouver side of things is on the W side of this. So the question is, Rob, I will start throwing it off to you. Do you think the Oilers will be the L for them?
It's almost cheating answering this question, being that we're entering the third period and the Flyers looked pretty good tonight against, a Vancouver team that came out slow. They probably fell asleep during, our home ice celebration, all the introductions. So they came out slow, but then they really geared it up. But Flyers had an answer. Delorier delivered a strong hit that really set the tone, and we're sitting pretty for this split. Maddie, I'm going to agree to the poll. Like I said, it's kind of cheating, but if we're talking about the Oilers, I'm not too scared of them either right now with the goaltending that they're getting from one Stuart Skinner. I mean, he led up, I believe, 8 goals to the same Vancouver Canucks team. So they got a lot of scoring, and Flyers are a rebuilding club. If they split these two games, that would be that. If you told them beforehand you're splitting these two games, I think John Tortorella would gladly take it.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to say disagree. I think the Flyers will beat the Oilers. I think the Oilers are down on themselves right now, and I think that that's a good opportunity for the Flyers to surprise them. Standing by what I said last week. If you sleep on the Flyers, you might pay a price for it. Hey, Ottawa didn't sleep on the Flyers. They were ready to pounce, and they took full advantage of that. Columbus, well, I don't know if Columbus slept on the Flyers. I just think they just did what Columbus does, and the Flyers took full advantage of that. But right now, Vancouver, they kind of came out flat in this game, and the Flyers made them pay for it. Igor Zamula got his first ever goal in the NHL, so congratulations to that young man who is now he gets to join the pantheon of Flyers goal scorers. And then they got a penalty shot goal from Sean Couturier, who just made Demko look completely foolish. So ultimately, I'm going to say, you know what? If we beat Vancouver and look strong enough and have that kind of confidence, maybe we do surprise the Oilers here. Maybe the Oilers still are down on themselves on a road trip and not feeling it right now. Maybe.
No doubt. Hey, it's distinctly possible because look, this Flyers team is taking a page out of the team they just got beaten by over the weekend, the Ottawa Senators. They took their first loss on the road quite handily, came back home and gave an answer and gave a strong answer at that, a 5-2 decisive victory over, a team that hey, let's face facts, they should out-talent right now. I mean, as Ottawa's trying to vie for their playoff chances. But, I'm just not trying to get the expectations too high. I'm just trying to temper my expectations, Maddie, because we have seen the young guys make a few mistakes, particularly Tyson Forrester with a bad giveaway in that Ottawa game on Saturday afternoon, along with Andre rimming the puck up the boards, leading to another Ottawa Senators goal. But I like how they responded, though. No heads down, instead looking just to make that next play. So this is what we're going to get at first. Kids learning on the fly to find a rebuild for all their talent. Yeah, exactly, right? And for all their talent, the wins will be depressed as a result. So, I mean, I'm liking what I'm seeing tonight, and yeah, with the Edmonton Oilers scuffling a little bit to start this season, certainly not playing well on defense, giving up goals. Do they have a shot at 2 victories? Sure, but I'm going to give them 1-1 if Flyers are able to hold on to this game. And it's just 2-0. This game is far from over right now, especially with the forecheck. What Rick Tocchet's teams bring is a strong forecheck. And let's face it, any team with Elias Patterson on their team is in any hockey game that they're in.
Right, absolutely. I will say, though, it will be very intriguing to see what the Flyers do in this third period. Be a good test to see them try and close it out, basically. And hopefully they'll be able to do that. They were able to do it against Columbus. Hopefully they'll be able to do the same here against Vancouver. But you do mention that game against Ottawa and how that did not exactly go according to plan. It was a rough go of it, but I think a lot of that was due to, like you said, kids learning on the fly, needing to learn on the job here. You have some veterans, but you don't have the veterans that you don't have the team that you're going to go out and be a world beater with yet. Not by a long shot. So really, again, it is a very strict, these kids are learning, let them learn.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to get in this open, and hey, the schedule makers really did Flyers some justice. They have a really, what I would deem easier schedule to begin this season. So, we're seeing tonight a lot of energy in the building, a lot of former Flyers back in the building. Hell, Maddie, Bundy's back in the building after, a 3-year hiatus from being away from the team?
Yeah.
They're really, you got to tip your hat to Dan Hilford and Danny Briere and Keith Jones in terms of just bringing that Flyers culture back and bringing it before this team is actually ready to win. A lot of juice in the building. Hey, there's a lot of juice around the whole Philadelphia area tonight. But it's showing, and the crowd supporting the team. And I like JJ with this stat during the game. The Flyers are 3-0-1 in their last 4 home openers, looking to make it 4-0-1. We'll see if this score sticks.
I mean, right now, the Canucks and the Flyers, from what the stats say, Flyers are leading with shots on goal 23-2. 23-2. I'm going to say that again. 23 shots on goal to 2 from the Vancouver Canucks.
Yeah.
Damn. That's just damn. That's not even a question of, is this game competitive or not? No, fuck that. The Flyers are just boat racing them off the ice right now. Yeah, just paintbrushing the shit out of them.
Again, Maddie, it's kids learning from past mistakes that they saw in Ottawa. A lot of shots missing the net. A lot of shots too high in the zone, getting blocked easily. Now they're getting those shots on net and getting it through, using their own Vancouver Canucks as a screen, as we saw with Samula's first NHL goal. So I like the jump. I love the competitiveness, and you're going to get that out of John Tortorella teams, right? But now you have a lot of guys where, there are people vying who's going to be on the active roster on a given night. And tonight, the odd man out was Morgan Frost, who was the healthy scratch. since Coots was good to go after missing yesterday's open practice, you had to figure, and we give the credit all the world to Brian Daly with this, immediately thinking this is totally load maintenance, and Coots is not missing the home opener, his first in 2 years, and sure enough, he's been on the ice, and he's looked good. He's looked like one of the better guys on the ice, just looking strong with that 200-foot play, getting his first career penalty shot goal, as I mentioned before. So, to me, Maddie, is Morgan Frost in the doghouse already with Torts?
It's a good question. I mean, I think it's a little too early to put anybody in the doghouse. In my opinion, it's too early. We're only 3 games into the season. Now, do I think Torts has less leash on Frost than he does on, say, a Zamula? Probably, because Frost has been here for a little bit. So I'm sure he's expecting more out of Frost to be a leader on the team, or to at least be a player that's going to step up in critical situations, since he's had to do that before. Whereas Zamula, this is his first real taste of it, so now he's adjusting on the fly. Bobby Brink, the same thing. These are guys who have never played for the Flyers in the regular season until now, so they might get a little leeway, very little, but a little, because they're learning on the fly. For Frosty, no, not so much. But I still think it's a little too early to put him in the doghouse. I think it's more of a quick lesson, and then you put him back out there. That would be the way I would look at it, in my opinion.
I think it's a lesson to all the young kids that if you play well, you're going to play. If you play hard, you're going to play. If you don't, you're going to sit. And let's face facts, Maddie. Morgan Frost has never been John Tortorella's favorite player. He's always giving him a hard time because he sees the potentiality, but maybe a little lack of hustle, or I mean. I don't want to, juxtapose my opinions because I'm not there, I'm not in practice, but maybe I should start.
Well, I mean, it doesn't take much. If you show any sign of laziness, that's enough to make Torts look at you and say, "Why are you here?" Because I really don't have any use for you at the end of the day.
Right. Well, I mean, you saw good responses from Bobby Brink and Tyson Forster last game. I alluded, Forster had an awful giveaway that led to an Ottawa goal, and he came back with a great response in that game. And lo and behold, he's there on home ice in the home opener. So, like I said, a lot of times it's not about the mistakes. It's what your response is going to be to the mistakes, what your response is going to be to the failures, what your response is going to be to ultimately what will be many losses this season. How do you come back as a team? How do you come back as an organization? And all the way down to each individual player.
Right. Absolutely. And let's see here. What do we got from the fam here as we jump in? Priz saying, let's go. What's up, Priz? Chuck saying, yo, gentlemen. What's up, Chucks? And Joe saying 2-0 lead, out shooting the Canucks by 20. Got to keep it up for 20 more minutes. Correct. 20 minutes in hockey is a very long time, and anything can happen in that time. And Dale saying, fellas, have a great show. I'll be back next week. Brian's a little under the weather, so he won't be here. But the Darkwing will be back next week, so be prepared. And he also says, great forecheck and offensive zone time for the Flyers tonight. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's been good. I like what I've seen in the offensive zone. They're still a little sloppy with that puck in their own zone, though, and it led to a lot of sustained drives where guys were left on the ice and really penned in the net. It starts with a little bit from Hart. Now, don't get me wrong. Hart's looked really sharp in this game. He's moving post to post real well, but the rebound control is still an issue, though. And when you're not securing that puck and getting a freeze, you're really putting your whole team, behind the 8 ball already. Then you're a little sloppy with the puck and you don't clear the zone. Now all of a sudden you find yourself on the ice for a minute and a half, a minute and 45, racing, chasing the puck. And I want to see them work on that, get that a little bit better in due time. All
right. Priz saying Superman got a point tonight. Now let's go, Batman. Get yourself a point. The world's finest in Philly. Jake Frill saying, what's up, fellas? Let's go Flyers. What's up, Jake? Mean Metal Mike saying, question. Hot take, 5 jerseys from other teams that would look good in orange and black with their logo.
It's interesting. I'd go with Vancouver Canucks that we're seeing tonight. You know what I mean? It'd be kind of in between what they're wearing now and what they wore back in '94.
That's true, actually. I'm digging that. I'm behind you on that one. I like the idea of the Minnesota Wild. I think they could actually rock that and get away with it pretty nice. Let's see here.
Let's throw the Sharks in there, Maddie. Get them orange and black too.
They had orange in there, and everybody bitched about it, so now they don't have any orange, but their jerseys look like shit now. But that's the sad part. They had a good streak going pretty much since their existence, and the new jerseys are just, they are so ugly. Chris saying, disagree, they sweep the Homestead. And me Metal Mike saying Canucks look surprisingly good or vomits.
No, for sure. I mean, hey, they really started off the season well. Really good response to Rick Tocchet, who, he's bound to be successful as a head coach sooner or later.
Right. What you mean? You mean getting? Yeah, I know. Brad's in the back. Let me throw him in here.
Yes, welcome, brother. Yeah, third period's here, and so is Brad.
Right.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. And the third period has, of course, started, and a penalty is coming up, and it's going to be a tripping call on the Canucks. So the absolute worst thing the Canucks do right now to take a penalty. Yeah, that's a trip on Tippett. Goes down, and there you go. Pretty straightforward right there.
See if they can do anything with the power play. The power play has been a bit abysmal to start the season. Really got to get better on special teams.
Yeah, that's a big negative to bring up right now. They've been struggling on that power play. They were struggling on it last year. So hopefully they can fix that as they go along. So, Brad, how are you doing tonight, Mr. Switzerland?
Little glum, as you might imagine. But,
yeah.
I mean, it's going to take a while to get over that. That was rough. But, just trying to hang in there, but it'll be all good. You get over it.
You come spend time with family. It's a good move. It's a good move. Kudos for joining us tonight, man. Kudos.
I mean, mope? I'm not going to mope around all night.
No, you stop.
That's kind of silly. Plus, the Islanders are on too, so I could root for them to lose.
There you go.
I mean, it's as fun to watch the Rangers win as it is to watch the Islanders lose.
There you go.
It's amazing. What I've noticed early in the season is how well the lesser teams have been playing so far, and how they've really been giving some of the better teams battles. The Flyers so far have looked really good. The Arizona Coyotes, my God, they beat the Devils the other night. Then last night they really gave the Rangers all they could handle. I mean, the Rangers really didn't put that game away until Shesterkin stopped the penalty shot with 5 minutes to go in the game. Before they won that game. I mean, and Vancouver beat Edmonton 8-1, I believe.
Yeah.
And they swept the home and home from them. So from Edmonton. So, and now you guys are shutting Vancouver out. So pretty good so far. So far so good. I mean, Ottawa looks like they may be a very, very tough team to contend with this year.
I mean, right now, yeah, Ottawa, if they get going, and it looks like they're going to be a rough customer to deal with. And right now, for Edmonton, it's total opposite. For a team that's gotten off to an absolute abysmal start for them. I mean, it's still very early in the season, obviously, but it's like, wow, you would not expect that from them. You would expect it more from maybe a team like Arizona or the Flyers. You would expect that from them, not from the Edmonton Oilers, who have sporting two best players in hockey right now, two of the best players in hockey right now. I think Austin Matthews would have something to say about that. Typical Canucks dork saying, my Canucks need a new identity. How about the Dorks? Are you gonna copyright it so that way they have to pay you for the right to use the name Dorks? That's what I would really like to know.
There we go.
Bryce Blackwell
Somebody's
saved
been
Flyer
paying too much
time. What's up,
attention to
Bryce?
Pat Riley, huh?
Yeah. Oh, let's see here. What else we got? Nate Money Moss saying Flyers up. What's up, Nate? Check out the Money Pop podcast. He knows what he's talking about. He'll get you some cash real quick if you want to throw some around.
I saw Coots scored.
Oh, yeah. Scored that pretty little penalty shot goal.
Yep. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
I heard he's really banged up, but it's not his back. So it's all good. That's just getting in shape.
Yeah, load management maybe a little bit. Maybe having him sit out of practice, making sure he's good for the home opener.
Yeah, that wasn't a bad move.
Yeah.
Tortorella's learning.
Yeah. I mean, because what's impressive tonight, Brad, is he wanted to play. He has a couple plays where he came back on the play, made a good, defensive move with the stick in there, and Flyers gave up a goal.
He's always been, even in his rookie year, he's always been a really, really good defensive player.
So Susie took the shot.
I remember he used to play against Crosby. He was playing against Crosby in his rookie year on the checking line. And he did a pretty darn good job. The year the Flyers knocked out the Penguins in 5.
Yeah, that's true.
How you going to let him crash the net like that? Come on.
Yeah. So Garland will get the goal, it looks like, as he was able to just shove the puck right in on Hart, too. Hot Flyers were protesting to the ref a little bit for goaltender interference, but really I can't even say that because Hart never had control over the puck at any point in time. So, for all intents and purposes, that puck was loose.
Well, if the puck's loose, then they have no case.
Yeah, you can crash.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to challenge it, it looks like.
If they lose, though.
But
do they still have that rule?
I don't know.
Or is that just for offsides?
I don't know. Now, it looks like the replay is specific towards the goal itself. So they might be challenging for goaltender interference, it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think that you get a penalty for that. I think it's you get a penalty if you challenge an offside and lose. Isn't that how the rule is, or is it for everything?
No, it's for everything.
So if you lose a challenge,
yep.
Not only do you lose a timeout, you lose. Oh boy.
The only case that I see them making is that Garland got his stick into Hart's pad and literally lifted Hart's leg off the ice as he was pushing that puck into the net.
But you can't do that.
But the thing is, too, is he's pressing the play on the puck that was never under Hart's control. So that's the other issue that you got there.
Yeah, but so you can't move the goalie's equipment.
No goal? All right.
There you
go.
So
no goal for the Canucks.
I'm surprised. I thought it was going to count.
Me too.
He moved the goalie's equipment. You cannot do that.
That's true.
Right. That's the point. Yeah.
Doesn't matter if he's got control or he doesn't got control.
Yeah, you cannot move the goalie's equipment. That's like moving the goalie's glove when he's ready to make a save.
Right.
You can't do that.
So, it's still 2-0. A bit of a scare there from the Flyers. Hopefully that wakes the young boys up, makes them realize, hey, we broke down there defensively. Let's tighten it up a little bit.
You got to wake up an old boy on that play because it was Mark Stahl again making Brad looking like the smartest man in the room, looking like a fucking parking cone. Now, Let me tell you this, boys. When Risto's finally healthy, I think about scratching Stahl instead of one of the young kids like Zamula or Andre. Because
what did I tell you?
You told it. You tried to tell us.
I warned you about him. He's not good.
Well,
he was hard in the Ottawa game. I still like his presence at practice for team leadership, but if as long as the young defensemen are showing progression, keep them in there.
Yeah, I just not feeling it with him, guys. Not on your team.
So
Mark Stoll needs a Mark Stoll needs a good defensive defenseman with him. He can't be the stay at home. He can't be the stay at home guy because he stays at home and then they skate right by him. They go right into the backyard.
Yep. And that's what he did. I mean, don't get me wrong, he was a little tied up in front of the net, but you just let a guy come in and crash your goaltender like that? I don't respect that.
Right, like, no, if somebody's going to come in on Hart like that, you take his ass to the ice.
10 years ago,
that
never happens.
No, because if you did that back then, you had the D-men that were the stay-at-home D-men. If you came anywhere close to the goaltender, your ass was on the ice. Simple as that.
Yeah. And
like,
Stoll would have been the one to put you on the ice.
Right.
So, yeah, he's
Yeah, he's old. He's
old. He said
Father time's undefeated, So.
Right. Prism saying, if the puck is loose, you must acquit. Me Metal Mike saying, Hart has looked good so far early in this season. He has. And, Hart, I have no worries about Hart. And Stahl is down for some reason. He threw Giuseppe into the... Oh.
Yeah. A little rough stuff. He does bring that. He's been very physical in this game, getting yappy in front of people. So, I mean, we'll take that while you're in there. But in regard to Hart, yeah, I mean, you could say, well, you didn't look too good in Ottawa, but maybe one of those goals you could put on Hart. That's just a strong team, and for a long time that game was 2-1. So let's not forget that.
Right.
Well, yeah, but Ottawa was putting on a lot of pressure most of that game.
Right.
They had a decided territorial advantage in that game.
Well, it was their home opener, so just like we were saying earlier, Brad, about a lot of juice in the building here in Philadelphia, there was a lot of juice in Ottawa with the new ownership group and that new energy and that flair going on.
No. Listen, I mean, listen, for you guys to go 1-1 on a road trip, that's good stuff. I don't care if it was Columbus. Listen, the Rangers went into Columbus and they lost. Now they did score. Now they did outshoot Columbus like 32-20, and they did have 2 goals that were disallowed, which both of them should have been allowed, which was ridiculous.
I saw those highlights. That was so weird. Didn't Columbus have a disallowed goal too? It was the weirdest game.
No, the Rangers had 2.
Oh, it was just the Rangers.
Yeah, the Rangers had 2 disallowed goals that game, and you know what? I think after the second one, the way they played, they looked a little disillusioned that game. When you get 2 of them like that, you're trying to come back because you played a garbage first period. You're trying to come back. It's like it's 4-1, and then you score two quick ones, and they're both they're both gone. It's like, oh, come on. I can only, especially on the road. You probably second game of the season. It's Columbus. They probably were just like, and they came out thinking we could just go out there and show up and beat them, which you can't do in the NHL.
True. So what we're seeing now is 4-on-4. They called a boarding penalty on both Lafferty. They called a roughing penalty on Juleson. They called a boarding penalty on Lafferty, and they obviously called the same thing on Stahl. So what's weird about that is that why would you give offsetting minors why would you give one to Vancouver when they were just standing up for a teammate? And listen, I don't like it when the Flyers get penalized as much as the next guy, but okay, just as I said that, this starts getting hairy once again.
Yes, sir.
The boys getting a little feisty, I guess.
Oh, yes, they are. Hughes was gripped up by someone, and Konechny is hooked up with Lafferty. So, let's see.
So the Rangers last night with Arizona, they had a hell of a brawl after the game was over.
Oh, geez. Konechny literally hurled Lafferty to the boards.
Good.
No, I know why. Because Lafferty scored on Hart. I think that's what it was. That old disrespectful, you don't finish your shot when the whistle's blown. Oh, so Konechny used that as enough of a reason to say, hey, Lafferty, your ass is mine.
Love it.
Yeah, you can't do that. I mean, who was it that almost started a riot? a riot when they did that. I think the Flyers were playing Montreal, and somebody
Oh, it was
was it Claude Lemieux?
It was Claude Lemieux and just one other player. I forget who it was.
Yeah, they call it Chelios.
Yes, I think it was Chelios.
Yeah, I mean, you do that, you're going to cause a riot.
They called a penalty on TK. That's horseshit.
Yeah, they called a penalty on TK, and I think he's the only one that went to the box.
I will give this up for TK though, with points in the first 3 Flyers games and him playing like real strong leadership, getting people's back. Looks like somebody's playing for a city, boys.
Somebody is, that's for sure. Hell, we've got a couple of players.
Ether Chow on the camera. I love it.
Their veterans right now are playing very well.
Right.
And you know what? If the Flyers are going to make the season interesting as far as points are concerned, they need to play well and they need to not be injured.
Right.
Attendance is going to be of the utmost importance.
Email to Mike saying TK should wear the C if he stays with the rebuild. And Pete's saying, yo, fam, what's up, Pete? We're taking asses now. What's up, Don? What's going on, brother? Swoopy saying Lafferty is from Central PA. That's interesting. Did not know that. And Camel Tohara 69 saying Golden Knights looking good. Yeah, Golden Knights are just shredding through teams like they're nothing. Somebody wants to repeat. That's what it looks like to me.
That is a very good team.
That is. It's going to be a challenge to stop them when the playoffs roll around. That's for sure.
Yep.
So let's see here while we've got the chance.
By the way, Buffalo is ahead of Tampa Bay 2-0.
Okay.
In the first period. I just wanted to let you know that. And also, the Coyotes are continuing to play pretty good hockey. It's 0-0 against the Islanders after 1.
Oh, and Flyers with a nice tip out to clear the zone there. Luckily, they did avoid the icing. But good. I mean, hey, the Coyotes, they got a lot to prove. It's a franchise that's been so maligned. And also on top of it as well, they just got shot down by Tempe. So they kind of have a lot to prove right now, not just because they've been rebuilding for almost 50 decades at this point. They have to try and make that market survive, or in other words, they're off to another place.
Maddie, I will say this. They can skate.
They can.
They're fast.
They can. They are.
They don't know where the net is. That's a big problem. But they can skate, and they do shoot a lot. That's what I've noticed in there, because I watched a little of the Devil game when they played the Devils, and they shoot. They shoot from all over. They're not. What do you call it? They're not going to be accused this season of overpassing the puck. It seems like when they have a chance to shoot, they do that.
Right.
I wish my boys would do that a little more, because I think we still pass the puck way too much. But that's besides the point.
And let's see here, Devils Kings fan saying we've been the best team in the New York area. Who else can compete? We got cups.
Excuse me. How did you do against the Coyotes the other night? That was a great start. And who was it? You just lost the game the other night. You're 1-1-1. So pipe down there, Devils fan.
Right.
Yes, he needs to pipe down just a little bit. Very early in the season.
Still a little bit, just a little. Let's see here. Teddy saying Torch should wear the C. Also, to add a little bit fuel to that fire, the Rangers have how many cups? 4?
4.
4.
That's in 100 years.
Islanders have 4.
Yeah.
And the
Devils have 3.
Yeah, the Devils only have 3. Yes, you could claim superiority over Buffalo because they have none, but that's the only one.
Yeah, there you go. hey, as I always say, listen, they all count.
They do. They do.
They do.
And let's see. Speaking of the Sabres, the Goathead Sabre, 1995 says, I think the Devils need to see human resources for some bumps on the head.
Well, there you go.
All right, let's see here. Ted E saying Logan Cooley was a great pick by Phoenix last draft. He was. That kid's
he was
amazing.
A major factor last night. He was all over the. That guy can skate.
Yeah, that kid's going to be real good for the Coyotes. If they don't screw up whatever they're trying to build out there, he should be great for them. But that's the key. They can't screw anything up because they've done it so many times in the past where it's either been poor ownership, bad GMs, terrible trades, or lack of investment in their overall players.
Keller, though, I think they got it. That has a chance to be a pretty darn good line.
It does, and they absolutely need to. They need to follow through on it and not be lackadaisical.
Yeah, they can skate. As I said, they tend to miss the net a lot, but getting back to the Flyers, they're playing well right now. But we saw this last year at the beginning of the season too. However, the difference is you've got Couturier in there, got Atkinson in there. Everybody's healthy right now.
Right.
I think that is going to help. And maybe all the negativity with all the negative guys that were in that locker room are gone. And you got some of the older players are gone that I think may have been a little bit negative. So I think there's a little bit more positivity in the locker room now.
Right.
Yeah, you got that youthful energy that's competing, a lot of competition going on, a lot of energy in the building with with this organization trying to go back to it's a new era of Orange, but bringing back a lot of the alumni, you know what I mean, and having that Bundy's back in the building for the first time in 3 years. So I think a lot of that comes together, and we're seeing that on the ice.
Let's be honest. Right now, the Philly fan base in general is all pumped up, and I think the fans are bringing the energy to the Flyers tonight, no doubt.
Absolutely.
That's definitely. I mean, you can definitely see it, and that there's nothing like a little positive energy. They need as much of that as they can. I think the key with the Flyers is when they have a bad loss at home. Okay, and that's kind of what happened last year. It seemed like when they had a bad loss at home, that's when the wheels came off. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see about if and when that happens, how the team reacts and how the leadership core reacts. But right now, I'm impressed. They're playing good hockey. Can't blame them for losing to Ottawa. In Ottawa, I mean, it was their home opener, and Ottawa is a pretty good team. I think that they're looking like maybe Buffalo isn't. Maybe I was wrong about Buffalo. Maybe Ottawa is the ones that are going to be the ones that you got to watch out for. Buffalo looks like a mess right now defensively.
So, I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like Buffalo and Ottawa, Detroit. Those are the three teams that we're looking at in the Atlantic right now, and they're trying to come together and compete at a high level for playoff spots for the wild card. Unfortunately, that may result in you having struggles against them, especially if you're a team like the Flyers who are rebuilding. But at the same time, that's what those teams have got to do. They got to start winning some games in crucial situations. And unfortunately, it looks like the Flyers are going to burn a power play opportunity away after getting one.
Vancouver, they had one scoring chance and they gave up two.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but the bright side is you burn 2 more minutes off the clock.
That is a silver lining.
Yeah.
Teddy's saying, would you trade for Cooley? Well, of course. But I don't think the Coyotes would trade him.
They may be dumb, but the old saying, they may have been born at night but not last night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think the Coyotes are trading Cooley under any circumstances. They would be fools to do that.
No. Unless that team was liquidating and the league was contracting, and that is not happening. I don't think that any sports league could contract right now. With the way that money is, I just don't see that happening.
Even the MLS has a lot of teams now.
Right. And even so, I don't see them going through a contraction. The last time the NHL ever did that, it was with the Cleveland Barons, who used to be the Seals. and they merged it to the Minnesota North Stars. And
Yeah,
that was in the 80s.
And the North Stars went to the Cup Finals that year, by the way.
Right. And that was in the 80s. So it's been a good long while. So
nobody is contracting.
No.
A team will move before they contract, before they completely go under. That's not going to.
Yeah, too many cities looking for an organization, definitely.
Well, you never know. Columbus could end up in Kansas City. You never know. You never know. The Sabres, their attendance and.
Well, I think that's going to go back up.
I hope so. I just, some of the other franchises that are not that have been penny pinching a long time, and they've been talked about. Moving.
More rough stuff.
Yeah, good defense though there on that play. It didn't allow Vancouver a shot there when they had a really good scoring chance.
Absolutely. Let's see here. Did you see Michkov has 13 points in 13 games? Yeah, he's looking mighty good out there.
Yeah, shout out to Jamie Bosco, is like really updating everybody on Twitter with the prospects ongoings overseas. And yeah, Michkov, baby. He's the real deal.
Absolutely. All right, then.
Listen, by the time you guys will be in 2 years, you guys will be completely over the cap issues. You'll have plenty of cap space because I'm sure your GM knows what he's doing. It certainly seems to, and then you'll have him coming over, and some of these young guys, you'll find out how good some of these guys are, how many keepers there are, and you guys should be good to go. I mean, I don't think it's going to take that long now. I think there's definitely a direction.
Right. So this first period breakdown of the Canucks and the Flyers. We'll do the Flyers recap when the game ends, which it almost is. Actually, we only got about 8 minutes left in it. But if you're looking to buy or sell a home, you're looking for a change of career in brokerage, contact Alan Foy at eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy at exprealty.com. And we're also going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll continue to break down the Flyers and Canucks. Until then, we will see you right after this.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, proudly celebrating 40 years and our new, bigger showroom.
Twice the size and twice the fun.
More pool tables by Olhausen. More dartboard sets, including custom reclaimed backboards. More bar and kitchen stools that can change a room.
And more bars, including pre-built and custom.
Hot tubs, skee ball, shuffleboard, outdoor,
and fun.
Royal Billiard and Recreation, your ultimate game room store. Now located on Bethlehem Pike in Colmar.
In our family, food is our daily bond. My Nonna, affectionately called Mama by many, found solace and joy in the kitchen, sharing our love through delicious creations. She turned her culinary passion into a flourishing business alongside her husband and sons in 1983. Celebrating 40 years is a testament to our exceptional team, friends, family, and beloved customers. With gratitude, we look forward to the future, expanding our brand to share the highest quality Italian food and wine nationwide. Our heartfelt thanks to everyone who has played a part in our story. Grazie mille.
Hats.com is the premier destination for quality and fashion-forward hats and more, with designs for every style and trend. Locally based and run by Philly sports team fanatics, Hats.com can help you elevate your hat john. Utilize the easy-to-use guides at Hats.com to find your perfect size and style, and shipping and returns are free. Hats.com. Find yourself in a hat. Use code Philly for 15% off your order. Hats.com.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out those sponsors that we have there for Royal Billiards. It's for all of the gaming needs that you have out there, as well as Hats.com. You could use the code Philly for 15% off of your order. There is a Brian Dawkins hat that you could check out. Really cool fedora that he had when he got into the Hall of Fame out there. And then Carly knows as well, if you love a traditional Italian food, great place to go for some good food and some good family cooking
How
out
about
there.
how about those meatballs?
Yeah.
Oh, man, this has just made me really hungry. Now I'm like craving a meatball.
So let's see here.
Last Thursday.
That looks
Yeah.
good. Oh man.
So right now, the Flyers still up 2-0. 6:50 left to go in the third period right now.
Get Carter Hart that shutout, boys. Come on.
That would be nice. Hopefully that will happen.
How would you like to be an Edmonton fan and see Vancouver get shut out by the Flyers after they beat you 8-1?
Sure.
And then return the favor in Edmonton 2 days later and beat you 5-2 or something like that?
Yeah.
Probably
That
at
would,
least Fidelity.
Yeah.
Which is why I agreed to the poll. I was like, that'll be how it would go, despite Edmonton playing poorly. I mean, we'll get into that a little bit later in the show. Let's focus on Vancouver right now.
And there's a penalty coming up on the Flyers, unfortunately.
Yep.
Jeez.
Bad time to take one.
There was a lot of lack of discipline. I've seen, we saw in the Ottawa game taking a lot of needless penalties, and this is a killer where you could let a Vancouver team back into this game right now with a power play tally.
Absolutely.
Big penalty kill now.
It is. Whew, that was actually really scary. I mean, the stick, it was up in the air and knocked it down. So it was played off of a high stick. So I don't know if he could have really done anything with that. That's where the trip is on Hoglander because he was coming in dangerous.
And I will say this, though. I attacked the power play side of special teams, but the penalty kill has been quite, spectacular. And I forgot how good of a penalty killer Cam Atkinson is. He just plays bigger than his body. And I love players like that.
Absolutely.
He'll get you a couple of shorties, too.
Yes.
He can.
He used to do that in Columbus quite a bit.
Let's see. Midwest Ranger Yeehaw. He's saying, as much as I enjoy the current Rangers jerseys, I think a rebrand to the Liberty jersey as permanence, home, away, or use the actual team logo on the jersey. Thoughts?
No way. No, that should just stay. That should. I'm not crazy about the Liberty jersey personally. I think this is classic, guys.
Right. I mean, the original 6 teams.
Yeah,
for
blue, and leave everything the way it is. Rangers down the side. Come on. What are you kidding?
What, you didn't love the jerseys they had in the 70s?
No. Not at all. And the Islanders just scored on the power play, so it's 1-0 Islanders against the Coyotes, who took a stupid penalty in their offensive zone.
Oh, so the Flyers aren't the only ones. Oof, that was actually pretty dangerous, that one.
Yeah, the only one on the team that knows how to score on the Islanders just scored, and that would be Barzell.
Now, let's see here. Midwest Rangers again said, what do you guys call Devils fans' bad marriage going to see counseling when your mother-in-law is a Flyers fan doing the gritty dance?
That's what I call a sticky situation.
Oh, damn. Demko made an unbelievable save. That was crazy.
Listen, you shut them out. That's a big deal because they've been scoring goals and playing very well so far this season.
They have been. Damn, Demko just robbed Lawton of a great goal right there.
Yeah, I'm seeing it now. I'm going to consistently be behind you boys for the live streams because I'm purely streaming now. I ditched cable and I'm purely streaming, so I'm always going to be like 25 seconds behind. But again, another odd man situation, which Flyers have had a couple of those. We had the 2-0 during the Columbus Blue Jackets game, and here a strong move, back and forth, tic-tac-toe. You think it'd be right there for Lawton. Demko flashes the leather, stops him on the backhand, which is really hard to do because that puck can go in any different direction on a backhand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you just have to. If you're the goalie, it's kind of like a soccer penalty shot. You got to guess right.
Yep.
Because it's you can't really tell where somebody's aiming.
Right.
I don't think most of these guys really can aim a backhand. I just think they fling it as hard as they can and look up at the sky and say, just go in.
Lawton might be able to. I think Atkinson can. Coots,
well, there's some exceptions, of course, right. But I mean, generally speaking,
for the most part, yeah. Your backhand is your weakest shot, which is why not many players go to it. They'd rather just go for a wrister or a slapper.
Yeah, if it's a backhand, they're generally going to pass it.
Right. And Don saying Austin Matthews, what an insane start by him. Absolutely. Austin Matthews has been killing it for the Toronto Maple Leafs.
And all I'm going to say about Austin Matthews is talk to me in game 83, okay? I don't want to hear what you do in the first 82 games, okay? Because I'm tired of it. Every season, Austin Matthews this, Austin Matthews that. Hey, Austin, let's see it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
No, I get it. I get it.
I mean, come on now. There's no way. I mean, you have to score more than one goal in a playoff series. You just have to.
Right. Empty net for the Canucks. Unfortunately, the puck went out of play, so Demko will come back out.
Well, when they have an empty net, if you're shorthanded, you can shoot there all you want.
It's true. Let's see here. Teddy saying, my WWE guys, Robbie and Maddie, what do you think about switching from Becky Lynch to Van Halen for a goal song? I'm happy about it. Nothing against Becky Lynch's song, but hey, that's the old style Flyers goal song back in the day. Back during the Eric Lindros years, they were using that Van Halen. So,
hey, I'm never going to argue with VH. Absolutely. You know that, Maddie.
Oh, yeah.
Don't associate me, Ted, with the WWE. I've given that up long ago. So.
Don't you spread that blasphemy around here.
Nah, I was done on that. What was that, Black Wednesday when McMahon fired everybody during the pandemic? I was done. I was done at that point. Now, he might be gone too, but it's sulling me on that. It's sulling me on the big show there.
Gotcha. So let's see. Penguins got Crosby fans saying we have superiority over the Devils for the Stanley Cup appearances. We are aware, Penguins fan. We are aware. He also says, also imagine the Penguins and Flyers trading jersey colors for a one-off game. Would it sell?
No.
That would be weird. A Flyers logo in black and gold? No. Just like a penguin that's orange and black. Everybody, well, okay, hold on. Wait a second. Because a penguin technically has a beak. You could put that as orange and then have the body be the regular colors. So I guess you could get away with it with the penguin.
No. When Me Metal Matt asked about what other teams you wanted could get away with orange and black, I was like, Penguins would be the least likely.
The only thing I could see with the Penguins, do you ever see their throwback jerseys? They kind of were the same color as the Sharks, with the marine blue.
Oh, the powder blue. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, they used to have some pretty sharp jerseys back in the 70s, in the late 60s and early 70s when they first came in the league.
Right. And the only reason why they
post.
Shit. Dude. Slash Flyers going back to the box.
What? It's a parade to the penalty box. Vancouver still can't score.
It just takes one, though. Just takes one.
Yeah, but now you can ice the puck.
Yeah. I was reacting to Coots narrowly missing a second goal in this game with the empty netter hitting the post. I was like, damn it. I'm a little bit behind. Sorry.
I got you. But what's weird about the slash is that Lawton did not break. He broke his own stick. So it's like usually when you slash somebody, it's usually the other way around. But he broke his own stick on the slash.
Yeah, it may be hard for him to argue with the ref, though.
Right.
Yeah, he's holding half a stick.
Right. It's like I didn't slash him. What are you talking about?
That's a legit slash. For sure.
It is. It's a bad one to take right now.
How much time's left now?
There's about a minute and 46 seconds. So they will be able to kill the penalty off and have a few seconds left of even strength. But by that point, it'll be so little time left. And
But to Brad's point too, if they pull the goalie, maybe we could shoot at will.
They just did.
Oh, of course they're going to pull the goalie. You gotta have a 2-man advantage. The whole thing is though, if somebody bobbles the puck, it's going to end up in your net because there's no problem about icing it.
Yeah. Let's see. Metal Mike saying, can we all agree that Toronto Tire Fire would be fun for the Metro and Atlantic Division because Toronto is not allowed ever to have a Stanley Cup because no, not for you. So we're saying, was the Canucks goal disallowed? I didn't see it. Obviously watching the Phillies, heard you guys. Yeah, it was disallowed for goaltender interference.
Yeah, apparently you're not allowed to take the goalie's pad and pull it and move it.
Right. To allow the puck to go in.
The puck to go in the net. Yeah, that's illegal, and
Swoopy also saying, Crew, was the Ryan Poling edition an absolute tremendous pickup or what? Yeah, Poling has turned out to be pretty damn solid for the Flyers. Have really no complaints about him. And that was a nasty block, whoever took that.
I mean, it goes to show that every game, it's only been 3, but in each of the 3 games, the line to start each game was the PhD line. I mean, Poling has been better than expected, and that whole line has been, like I said, the Laurier hit in this game really set the tone.
Right. And Sealer took that really nasty shot right off the helmet.
I'm seeing that now.
And I do like Sealer. I like his game. He's just kind of – it's funny. He was sort of a journeyman throughout the league, sort of kind of vagabondish, and now he's found his home here in Philadelphia, ironically.
He's like, hey, boys, you see the dent on my helmet? That was a block shot, eh? That was a block
shot. Well, you know what? He's always been a in-your-face type of player. And Tortorella has always liked those kind of players, so he's probably feeling very at home and comfortable. And, comfort is very important for defensemen in the NHL. That's kind of the key. Once they're comfortable with a certain team, it usually is a very good thing.
Right.
Ooh, let's see third all-time list and most shots in a home opener right now. One behind number 2.
From 1980 and 81. Wow.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
That was. Bobby Clark was still playing.
Yep.
I mean, I think he was wearing Cooperalls that year, but, won't hold that too much against him.
He was still playing then.
I can see those pictures, and it's just like, it's so weird. So weird seeing guys in the NHL wearing Cooperalls. It's like, no, thank God that never caught on. And thank God they realized, people are going to get hurt wearing these things.
Go, boys.
Almost got it done. Clear. Nice. Trying to get out of the neutral zone. Good battle.
The Coyotes take another penalty in the offensive zone.
Ooh.
Now they're showing their coach who's just shaking his head.
That's all you can do.
And the Flyers win it.
Good job by the Flyers.
Good job, boys.
First shutout.
First shutout ever against the Canucks, and it's Hart's 6th.
Is it their first home shutout? Is it the first home opener shutout in their history? Probably not.
No, it's their first against the Canucks.
Okay.
Apparently. So that's
4-0-1 now in the last 5 home openers.
There you go. Let's see here. So the Flyers getting things started, hopefully in the right direction.
Wow. First shutout this season, game 3. First shutout last season, game 41.
Holy crap.
There you go.
Good Lord.
Again, against a red-hot team that seemed to score at will in their first 2 games.
Yeah, Eeyore. Yeah, player of the game. It's not even just the goal, though. That strong defensive play that I remarked earlier in the show. I forget what play. I think it was late in the second period there, Maddie. That was Eeyore as well.
Nice. Good. And let's see here. So we're saying the Canucks all black and gold and white and gold uniforms are my all-time favorite NHL uniforms. A lot of fans tend to really love those jerseys.
I remember those jerseys. They wore those jerseys in 93, 94, I believe.
They did.
Yeah,
they did.
I remember those jerseys.
And then they literally changed and rebranded when Mark Messier went over there.
Yeah, that stupid fish thing.
Yeah, the orca.
Yeah, oh, that's right. It was an orca. Yeah, I shouldn't say a fish thing. That's a mammal, right?
I believe a whale is a mammal.
That stupid mammal thing.
Still, though, at the end of the day, it didn't exactly get the greatest reception in the world, and it definitely didn't get any more love because the Canucks were complete shit at the time when they brought that out.
Yes.
And Joe's saying that's a good win there. It is. Very good, hard-fought win from the Flyers, getting a good shutout for Carter Hart. And I believe that is a perfect segue for us to go into the second period. And the second period is brought to you by, for anybody out there who is looking to get some good food, go to Gleason's Bar, located 6700 Mill Creek Ave in Levittown, PA. Use pro code A2D for 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or you go online, and use A2D for that 10% off at Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com as well. So, all right. Now that the game is over, any major things that we want to pull out of that and want to dissect a little bit, because there a lot of good stuff did happen there in that game. Few bad things, but some good stuff there.
You got a shutout.
That's obvious.
That is impressive. I'm sorry, but that's when you have a team that scored 13 goals in its first two games, and they get shut out. That's impressive.
Yep. They did a really great job of just, taking the Canucks and just stopping them for a good while. Then the Canucks kind of found a little bit of a rhythm, primarily because the Flyers started making mistakes. However,
the Flyers were kept continuously going to the penalty box. It's like it was a parade. It was a parade.
It was a parade to the penalty box in that third period. It was very undisciplined.
Hats off to the penalty killing unit. Yeah. I mean, that was just they basically gave you a clinic on how to kill penalties.
They did, and good job from them. One thing I will pull out too, one other negative I'll pull out is the Flyers blew a lot of power play opportunities again. There were a few that the Canucks did, and it wasn't just in the third period too. They had opportunities in the second. They had opportunities in the first. The Canucks were taking really stupid penalties left and right and killing their momentum too when they started getting something going. Flyers didn't make them pay for it. And again, I'm not trying to shit on the win. Not at all. I'm very happy with this victory. And yes, you did get that goal in the penalty shot. But at some point, there's going to be a team that's going to take a lot of penalties, and they're going to be ahead of the Flyers. And if the Flyers can't take advantage of those man-up opportunities, and they lose a couple of games, and they lose a few more than a couple of games, and that results in them taking losses that they shouldn't take, that really will start to grate on everybody, because it's like, when is the power play going to improve? And that's going to be a big thorn in everybody's side, because, get it, rebuilding team and all, but you don't want a power play to be so weak that it never really figures itself out and becomes a big part of the team's success. You don't want the man advantage to be a detriment. You don't want the fans saying, listen, we don't want the penalty. Can we decline it? Like you can in football with a flag. If it gets to that point, it's like, jeez, you just don't want that. So Flyers definitely need to work on that and need to get that straightened out, because they gave up missed a lot of power play opportunities, which is one thing I'm really not happy about. However, very happy with they're overall playing the offensive zone, getting the opportunities, really putting pressure on the Canucks and making them uncomfortable. And that's the thing, was they took a team that had been killing it offensively and just murdered their offensive attack this particular evening just by being aggressive in the offensive zone.
Going to be so happy.
Yes.
He may even answer a couple of questions tonight.
He might actually be nice to them.
Yes, he's going to actually be nice to the media because he is a defensive coach, and you know what? That he's going to like that.
Maybe he won't be. Maybe he won't be because he wants to go watch the Phillies game across the street.
Well, listen, he's gonna bitch a little bit about the power play because that's what coaches do. But he's one of these guys. You know how he loves to teach his team to play defense and block shots and and the layers and everything. And I think that he's going to be one happy coach right now because that's if you take a look in the two wins, they've given up 2 goals. Okay, they had the one tough game in Ottawa, but still the other 2 games they gave up 2 goals to Columbus at home, and Columbus may not be a good defensive team, but they can score.
They can
score. They absolutely they got some good offensive players. They don't stop anybody, but they have offense. So they held them to 2, and then they shut out a red hot Vancouver squad that was lighting it up, in Western Canada this past weekend. So kudos to them. I mean, really strong effort.
Right. I think a big difference that you see between these two organizations, Brad, is that when Werenski got knocked out of that game, there was no answer back. There was no retaliation from the Blue Jackets sticking up for their man, right? And in the Ottawa game,
that was horrible. That if you're Columbus, how do you let him get away with that?
Right.
I mean, shouldn't Boone Jenner, who's supposed to be the heart and soul and a tough guy, shouldn't he be out there literally taking Garnett Hathaway and slamming his head into the ice, or trying to? Maybe he can't, but he should at least be trying to.
Maybe
stick up for your man.
Right.
I mean, I just cannot believe that they didn't go after him. That's just
maybe Babcock texted Boone and told him, "Hey, remember I got those pictures. Don't attack anybody on the ice."
Oh no, fabulous! Well done, Maddie. Well done. But I mean, in comparison, though, Brad, right? We saw in that Ottawa game, right? They took a run at Forrester, and right away there was an answer back from Nick Sealer, like immediately, like and tonight too, with when they put the puck in the net, and then TK immediately went after him. You know what I mean? Like that's what you want to see.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't. I mean, to me, that's cowardly. You can't allow that to happen.
Right. Got to stick up for your guys.
Last night, somebody I can't remember who it was, but somebody on Arizona took a run at Lindgren, and Lindgren, had just come back from an upper body injury, and Trouba went in there and beat the crap out of him at the end of the game. The Rangers waited till the end of the game to get the guy, but Trouba went in there and beat the crap out of him. And Igor Shesterkin was in there trying to fight the guy. Igor, of all people, getting into a fight. I think I can't remember who it was. One of the Rangers finally got Igor out of there. You don't want him getting hurt after a game in a fight. I mean, for God's sakes.
No, absolutely not.
I can only imagine Peter Laviolette, who, by the way, his nickname in New York right now, you're going to love this.
What?
Eddie Munster.
Eddie Munster.
All the Ranger fans are calling him Eddie Munster. Isn't that nice?
That is hilarious.
Aren't we such a nice fan? I mean, the poor guy just got here, okay? He really hasn't done anything wrong, and already they're calling him Eddie Munster.
I'll be completely honest with you. I always felt bad for I had a running gag when he was the Flyers coach that he started with a full head of hair, and then by the time he was done being the Flyers coach, he was balding. So because the Flyers did nothing but make him stress.
Well, if you go into Ranger fan lines, Okay, in the Ranger fan club lines, and I'm in a couple of them. This one guy actually had a picture of Butch Patrick and Laviolette side by side, their faces. I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh boy, they're not wrong. But now there's a pretty serious fight in the Islander game.
Oh,
it's let's see, Romanov against that's the freaking guy that went after Lindgren last night. Yeah, he's got a big mouth.
Clearly, he's the grinder of the team.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess so, and Matt Dumba too.
Yeah, Matt Dumba.
Yeah.
So let's see here.
Matt Dumba was a prime instigator in that brawl after the Ranger game last night.
Right.
Yeah, he was right in the middle of it.
See, Metal Mike saying, didn't the Canucks have a skate gradient and red orca gradient jerseys? Yes.
Yes, they did.
Joe's saying, disagree with the poll. Flyers are beating Edmonton 2. First 10 games of the year are Flyers' best hockey we'll see all season. Bryce said, Flyers W. Hell yeah. Typical Canucks story.
The difference is that the Flyers are playing better defensively.
Right. Let's see. Typical Canucks dork 666. You guys see why we didn't ever have high hopes for the Canucks after winning the first 2 games? Something was fishy from the start.
Oh boy, he's got the whale. He's got the whale.
Well, I mean, look at it this way, Canucks dork. It's 1 loss. I think you guys will be all right. You can withstand it. Just shrug this one off, walk it off, and you'll be okay. Metal Mike saying, is it possible during practice situations could Tortsy and Danny do simulated power play situations in the practice rink? Yeah, Danny could show them how you score on the power play.
Yeah, I don't think Torts could do much help.
Yeah, I don't think Torts will be able to score much on that, but Danny could.
Yeah. If you want to get Jonesy out there, he could play the point.
Yeah. Let's see, Metal Mike saying, how come no one talks about Montreal? Well, because Montreal's in a rebuild right now, but they're working, but they're not saying they're not doing the right things. They certainly are. Go ahead, Saber, saying, because we all agree the Montreal Canadiens are the scum of the planet when it comes to a hockey franchise. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I have teams that I believe are way more scummier than them.
Their fan base is.
They're the snootiest. They're the snottiest of all the teams. Not the scum of the earth. No. That's reserved for the...
You're right. Their fans are the snottiest fans, too.
Right. No. The scum of the earth is reserved for Devils fans. Let's get it right.
Yeah.
So
I fully agree with you there. Both of them.
Okay. Also Pittsburgh. Those are the 2 scummiest fan bases, period.
Yeah.
And let's see, Teddy saying home run Schwarber 2-0 Phils. Nice. Go ahead, Saber saying Montreal has been stuck in rebuild modes. Well, this is where they're fully invested in the rebuild.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, though. I will say one thing about Montreal. They're a tough guy. That guy, what's his name, Zimenez?
Yes.
That guy might be the toughest guy in the league right now.
Oh, he's definitely going out there and proving that, yay, I got big, gigantic balls. You want to see them?
Yeah. Did you see how he manhandled Ryan Reeves the other night?
Yeah.
Holy crap. He took Ryan Reeves. He took Ryan Reeves and he put him through the paddy wagon.
He did.
Yeah. And then he threw him and he basically threw him into the net. And Reeves fell over the net. And then Reeves wants a rematch. It's like, you don't really want a rematch. You can yell that all you want. If you were playing them the next night, I guarantee you wouldn't be screaming for a rematch. And I wouldn't get that guy mad because that guy, if you get that guy mad again, he may hurt you the next time.
Let's see. Leafs fan sends now saying, "Yep, screw Montreal." Teddy saying Montreal did get the first pick of the 2022 draft. They did.
Yes, they did.
Favorite retro jersey, Caviv? Do you mean, which team did you mean there? Favorite Canucks look is that skate logo from the 90s. Very sharp look. Should have stuck with it permanently, to be honest. A lot of people have been hoping that they'd go back to it. Joe saying, Devils don't have fans, do they? Well, there is one. He's in the chat. He's in the fam right now. Let's see here. Me Metal Mike saying, didn't Ottawa have 11 cups and the NHL said, no, you can't have them? No, that was the original Ottawa Senators. And then they folded.
Yeah.
And
well, they were the Ottawa Millionaires.
Right.
And people took a strong dislike to that. So they changed their names to the Senators.
Right. But Ottawa, they were also called the Ottawa Silver Seven because there were 7 players, and they went on to win the Stanley Cup 7 times. So they were that good.
Didn't know that. So they were really good back then.
They were very good. And then eventually the team died off when the NHL came into existence, or the merge happened between the NHA and the WHL. And then Ottawa left, and Montreal kind of really took their spot after that. Joe's saying, with 3 New York teams and the Flyers, the geographic area for the Devils fans has to be super small. Oh, it is. It absolutely is. There's a reason why they pay territorial fees. Let's see. Lisa saying
between Hamilton and Newark.
Right.
That's about it.
Yeah. Let's see. Leafs fans saying, we do have Stanley Cups, but the league took them away when Ottawa returned to the league. Yes, because they don't consider the current Ottawa Senators the original Ottawa Senators. They consider them 2 separate franchises at the end of the day.
That shouldn't be, though.
I guess
the Baltimore. Listen, in football, the Cleveland Browns, became the Ravens, but the records from the old Cleveland Browns before they became the Ravens, they still stand.
I mean, I don't know. I guess you're gonna have to talk to the league on that one when Ottawa came into the league '93. Priz saying, y'all leave my grandma and mom's favorite team alone. My grandma called and told me and my dad 20 more to go. Then we'll talk after the 2015 title. And then let's see. Flyers fan 1995 says, well, reasons why it's called 2 millimeter Peters for Devils fans.
Oh, very
good. Well said.
Very good.
All right. So let's roll into the third period now for Around the League. Unless there was anything else, Rob, you wanted to bring up about the Flyers Canucks.
No, I think we've covered the game tonight. We covered the first 2 games. Just you're going to see mistakes. That's part of the rebuild. Kids learning on the fly. It's just part of it. But I really like the response from these kids. They don't keep their heads down. They just move on to make that play on the next play. So definitely what I'm liking, what I'm seeing in the first 3 games.
Right. Seeing a lot of kids buying into the system, and that's a good thing.
Keep the puck out of the net. That is the message, and that's got to be the key. That's going to be the key to the season as far as they're concerned.
Absolutely.
Even if they don't contend for a playoff spot, if they learn to play defense, okay, and they have that part of, because that's the hardest part to do. It's a lot harder to be a good defensive team than to be a good offensive team. Okay. And they can learn to be a really good defensive team. You know what? The salary cap is going up next year, and the year after that, you're going to have an extra $6 million to play with. And you guys have a lot of contracts coming off. So, I mean, that's if they can learn that part of the game, they can bring in a couple of guys who can score. And, you give us all something to worry about again.
Right. So let's see here. Alonzi Travel bringing us the third period, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams to Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls to. Let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation for you. Ritz and Chuck's are the 2 you want to go to for that. They'll take care of business for you. And I do believe Birds of a Feather are coming on after us. So check out Chuck's right on that show there. So those gentlemen will give you some great insight information on the Eagles and probably the Phillies while they're playing right now. They're still up 2-0. And Devils Kings fan says, hey, size doesn't matter. It's how you use it on the ice. Then
To be the
Prissy.
Devil, how could you be a Devil and Kings fan when the Kings beat you in the Stanley Cup Finals? I mean, I don't
Interesting
know.
point.
Wouldn't you have? I mean, listen, I hate the Arizona Diamondbacks and I hate them because I'm still butthurt from 2001.
I mean, that was a rough loss in the World Series for the Yankees.
Yeah, and you know what? I haven't forgotten. I still hate the Diamondbacks. So screw them. They can't. You know what? Even though I'm not a Philly fan, Diamondbacks can't lose by enough.
So you're hoping for the Phils to win this
Not only
series.
do I hope the Phillies beat them in the series, but I hope Bryce Harper, when they're done finishing the series in Arizona, goes over to the pool and pees in their pool.
Okay. So let's see. Pris saying Flyers sign Showtime next year. I'm calling it. That would be interesting to see Patrick Kane in a Flyers jersey. Me, Mel, and Mike saying, imagine Devils fans thinking they're better than Vegas. I heard stories about one Devils fan threw drinks at a Vegas couple last season and got fined. Yeah, some fan base.
You mean all 10 of them?
Yeah. Yeah, all 10 of them. All right, so let's see here. Oh,
yeah, those 10 are all in Devils management.
Oh, yeah. He explained it's the Sacramento Kings. Okay, so it's a basketball team.
Basketball, okay. Okay.
A little unknown story. I went to college with all 10 of those fans too.
There you go. I never met any.
Rutgers.
Oh,
Rucker, okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Rutgers is doing some pretty good things, Rob. That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, then. So let's dive into the third period for Around the League. Okay, gentlemen. So with that, any major things we want to talk about from Around the League? I mean, obviously, I got one to bring up, and that's absolutely just Austin Matthews killing it right now. Six goals, 2 straight games, 2 hat tricks. I don't know what to say. That's just crazy right now to think about that. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's the first player to start the season with back-to-back hat tricks since Alex Ovechkin in 17-18.
That's remarkable.
It is. It is. And I think before that was like 19-18.
But he has 4 in 3 games. But 6 in 2 games is quite something. It is quite something else. How many goals does Boo Jenner have right now?
Good question. I don't think he has any.
No, he had a hat trick against the Rangers.
Oh, okay. So I think that's it.
As a matter of fact, as much as I hate that guy, it was a natural hat trick too.
I think it's just those 3. Because he didn't score. He didn't score at all in against the Flyers, that's for sure.
Of course it is.
So, Rob, did you have anything you wanted to bring up from Around the League?
There was one major injury I'll bring up. Brandon Tanev, really good player for the Seattle Kraken. He's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks with a lower body injury, which was surprising to me because it was Brett Howden, I believe, of the Golden Knights, who took him up high, and he actually got a match penalty for an illegal check to the head and suspended 2 games because of it. But maybe he twisted something on the lower body, and that's what's keeping him out, which is good because I'd rather it be which is weird. Like other sports, you don't want it to be a lower body injury, but in hockey, you don't want it ever to be the head. You know what I mean? That could be what's problematic. So hopefully he gets well soon, but he'll be missing the next month and a half for the Seattle Kraken.
That's tough. And the Kraken haven't exactly had the best start to the season.
No. Tampa Bay, by the way, as you know, or for those who don't know, I believe Vasilevsky is out for 3 or 4 months.
Yeah, it's a tough loss for them. They're going to have to really dig in their heels to try and have a strong couple of months before they can, get Vazzy back and get back to being, on the right track.
3 or 4 months. You're talking October, November, December. He may not be back till February.
Yeah, I know. It's a tough situation for Tampa.
That could be late. Yeah, that could be. It could be getting late early in Tampa if they don't get off to a good start.
Right. All right, so let's
That
jump.
could be how a team like Buffalo or Ottawa makes it if Tampa Bay slides out with being minus Vasilevsky for so long.
True.
Yeah. I mean, that's a huge injury.
Even if Tampa makes it, maybe they make it as a wild card and one of those teams jumps them and goes to third place.
Could happen.
So, with that, let's jump into our shootout, brought to you by Specialized Physical Therapy. Dr. Paul Vidal. You got any aches and pains, go hit up the doc, and he'll make sure that you're taken care of. Okay, then. So, start off with our player of the week. Mine I pretty much gave away during my around the league. It's Austin Matthews. I'm not even going to try and argue any other case. Austin Matthews. What about you guys?
Oh, can we do our 3 stars of the week?
There you go.
Why not?
Okay. Matthews number 1. Okay. Kreider number 2. And Frank, what the hell is his name? God, these places. Oh yeah, Frank Vetrano, which unfortunately Brian's not here to hear this, but Frank Vetrano, his boy out in Anaheim, with a hat trick the other night.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I'll give him the
Good
third
start for the Ducks.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. What about you, Robbie? What you got for that?
I had Austin Matthews too. It's hard, to not pick him doing something that the last person that did it was the great one, or the great 8, I should say. Vetchkin back in 17-18. But if I'll bring it back to Flyer land, right? I think my number 1 star for the Philadelphia Flyers has been Sean Couturier. Now, he had a little bit of, missed practice and some, that he was banged up or whatever. We talked about it earlier. That was, more likely just easing him in. First full season, wanted to make sure he was fresh for the home opener. But he's just looked great. The 200-foot play is there. Barring re-injury of that back, this is going to be the comeback player of the year. And I might even just give him my hot take inadvertently.
All right, then.
Okay.
I don't think that's too much of a hot take, though, that he could be comeback player of the year, though. You know what I mean? I think that's on the table.
That's true.
I mean, everybody is saying that everything hurts him but his back.
Right.
Because he's been banged around so much.
Well, you know what?
That's you'd expect that.
You want to know why his back is sore? That motherfucker's been carrying this goddamn team for way too fucking long. That's the problem.
I didn't say it.
That's why Claude Giroux's back's killing him. Anyway, so let's see here. He's still carrying Ottawa. Anyway, Tom's saying, let's fucking go. Great start to the season. Hell yeah. All right, and now to finish up with our shootout. That is our hot take of the week. I'll start it off. I'm going to say the Flyers blow the Edmonton Oilers right the fuck out and beat them 5+. Put a 5+ spot on the fuckers and walk out, drop mic, and say fuck you to McDavid and Draisaitl on the way out.
Love to see it.
Would love to see it too. And just the whole time, just look them stone-faced. No emotion.
Can Tortorella get it? Can you get another shout-out for Tortorella?
I think so. Yeah.
That'd be the tougher task. Yeah. Keeping them off the scoreboard, but keeping the goals out of their net, that's
going to be the key. Keep it out of your net, out of the net, because you'll put some in the net.
Listen, boys, I never said anything about the Oilers not scoring. I'm just saying the Flyers are going to get way more than that because Skinner's going to be that fucking bad in Philly.
Let's see a breakout game for Bobby Brink with the hat trick. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, get some scoring, get some of these young guys all of a sudden being like, whoa, on a national scale. What's going on there in Philadelphia? Yeah.
Right. They just lit the Oilers up. Okay.
How about 7-4 Flyers?
What's up?
7-4 Flyers. Will that work?
That'll do. That'll do just fine. I would be perfectly cool with that.
Yeah, they score an empty net goal at the end. It'll be 6-4, and then they'll score an empty netter to make it 7.
Right.
Nice.
All right. So, what you guys got for your hot takes?
I said mine earlier in the show, and I think it bears repeating. But I'll say it a little bit with more conviction to make it a hot take.
Okay.
TK will be the Flyers' next captain.
All right. All right, then. And, Brad, what's your hot take?
Shesterkin wins the Vizina.
Oh, so Shesterkin becomes goaltender of the year. All right.
The other one isn't playing.
That's true. Is he isn't. So he's got a good shot at it this year.
He does.
And what's up, Anthony? Sorry, we got to the end of the show here, brother. Canwell Harris, F the Oilers. Sure. We'll end on that note.
Yes.
All right, guys. We thank everybody for joining us here on the Hockey Happy Hour. We hope you enjoyed the Flyers opener. Hopefully you guys will enjoy the rest of the NLCS Game 2 tonight, as the Phillies are still up 2-0 at the bottom of the fourth. And next week, we will be back as usual on Tuesday night. Take a look at my trusty calendar. And we do not have a game. I don't think we do. No, we do. Oh, it's a late nighter. The Flyers are going to take on the Golden Knights next week, and they're going to be in Vegas. So I don't know what we're going to do about that.
Pre-game.
There you go.
We'll take some beers.
There you go. We'll start a tailgate. We'll do it right outside my house. I'm on Main Street in Maple Shade. Let's have a fucking party.
I would say to the Flyers in that game, don't give up the first goal.
Yes, definitely don't do that.
Score the first goal. Don't let
Right.
them get ahead of you, because if they get ahead of you by 1, it's going to be a long night.
Right. And thank you, Priz. Appreciate that. Oh, and one last thing, too. Little shout out to Mackenzie Blackwood. Almost got 2 points off the Colorado Avalanche. Almost. It was a heartbreaker for the Sharks there. Not that it matters mostly in the standings, but just wanted to throw it out there. Anyway. All right, guys. We thank everybody for joining us. We will see you guys next week for the pre-game for the Flyers versus the Golden Knights. Until then, stay safe. Stay healthy out there. Birds of a Feather coming up next. Enjoy the rest of the Phillies and Diamondbacks Game 2. Peace and love, everyone.